Good morning, and welcome to this workshop and webcast hosted by Central Health. Today, we'll present the most recent changes to the proposed Central Health fiscal year 2018 budget. I'm Mike Giesland, President and CEO of Central Health, and joining me today is Lisa Owens, Acting Chief Financial Officer for Central Health. This is a new format for us, and we hope that you'll find this trial helpful as we explain the proposed changes to the budget. I'll provide a brief overview addressing basic facts about the changes in budget process, and then turn it over to Lisa for more detailed comments. First, a general overview of the process. The budget process for Central Health involves long-range forecasting and revenue and cost estimates as the building blocks for the proposed budget and accompanying effective tax rate. Changes in information, trends, new information, citizen input, and directives from the Board of Managers all influence this process and the final outcome of the proposed budget. So about this set of updates. The proposed effective tax rate does not change for Central Health. There are changes in what we include as available revenue, as well as expenses due to more certainty around trends and refined fiscal year 2017 projected outcomes. There are other updates related to service expansions, for example in Del Valley, that are currently being prepared at the request of the Board of Managers, and we expect to have these estimates for the Board of Managers meeting on September the 13th. Now I'll turn it over to Lisa.
Thank you. I'd like to present an overview of our updated FY 2018 proposed budget. As Mike said, there are no changes to the proposed tax rate, and we still anticipate a proposed tax rate of 10.7385 cents per $100 evaluation. Developing our budget is a process that involves estimates for the current year and the upcoming year. We've made adjustments to our year-end estimate and our proposed budget since our last board meeting and public hearings, and we'll highlight those today when we review the entire proposed budget. In preparing the budget, we start with looking at our current fiscal year-end estimate. We have updated our estimate for FY17, and then our actual results will be determined at September 30th. The current year, we estimate that our uses of funds will be significantly lower than budgeted. In our FY17 sources of funds, we estimate approximately $201 million in sources of funds. The bulk of this is $169.8 million in property taxes. We have made an adjustment to our estimated source of funds for the contingency reserve amount. We adjusted this amount in our model to account for the emergency reserve, which serves as a funding source for dire necessities that arise from unusual circumstances, and this reduced the contingency reserve line item to an estimated $24 million as a source of funds for FY 2017. The change does not impact our financial statements, it's an update to our model. The contingency reserves are a funding source for one-time expenditures or for ongoing expenditures when needed for cyclical or temporary structural deficits. We also made one update to our uses of funds in our year-end estimate, which is currently $172.5 million. We reduced our estimated uses of funds by $3.5 million. At the end of our year, we estimate our sources over uses to be approximately $43.4 million, which is carried forward as a source of funds into 2018 in our proposed budget. We also estimate an emergency reserve balance of $29 million. Looking at our current FY 2018 budget, our sources of funds are estimated to be approximately $181.8 million in tax revenue, $10 million in lease revenue, and $2.2 million in other revenue. Our contingency reserve is carried forward here as a source of funds from FY17 at $43.4 million. Our uses of funds in the proposed budget include $227 million in healthcare delivery. Of this, $203 million is for healthcare delivery services, intergovernmental transfers, initiatives, and operations. Last year, these same amounts were budgeted at approximately $197 million. A few highlights of our healthcare delivery budget included in the $203 million are our intergovernmental transfers of $142.9 million, healthcare services, which includes our transfer to the CCC of approximately $29 million, and service expansion funds of approximately $2 million. We also have healthcare initiatives, which include our UMCB campus redevelopment and operations, and healthcare operations of $10.9 million. Transfers to our reserves are approximately $29 million, and this includes a contingency reserve appropriation, which is highlighted below, of $23 million. Also included is our debt service of $1.4 million. We made two adjustments to the $203 million in our proposed budget for FY18. First, we reduced our budget for intergovernmental transfers by approximately $4 million, and we reduced our transfer to capital reserves by $5.6 million. Our plans for capital investments in clinics such as Rosewood Zaragoza, possible infrastructure on the campus, and Eastern Travis County investments are still planned, and we are evaluating funding options for all of our projects and will continue to do so on an ongoing basis. As Mike mentioned, we had a request from our board to look at additional investments in FY18 in Eastern Travis County, and we will continue our discussions at our Wednesday board meeting. Our total budgeted administrative expenses are just over $9 million, and our tax collection is $1.6 million. Our healthcare delivery is over 95% of our uses of funds in our budget, and administration is 3.8%. And our estimated emergency reserve in our FY18 budget is $31.3 million. Our total sources and uses for our FY2018 proposed budget are $237,825,481. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Mike.
Thank you. These changes reflect a conservative approach towards projecting available sources of funds to finance our operations, while at the same time refining projected expense and savings trends as much as possible prior to final adoption of the budget. In essence, it's about being accurate. As a reminder, the budget will be before the Central Health Board of Managers on September 13th for adoption, and then back to the Travis County Commissioners Court on September 19th, along with approval for the proposed tax rate. Thank you very much for allowing us to present this information to you today. We hope you find it helpful.